Welcome back, everybody. It is Catching the Curb right here, brought to you by our friends at the Curbstone Coaches. DJ Yoakley with you, and joined as always by the living legend himself, the guy who makes the world spin for the Curbstone Coaches, Bobby Camardo. Bobby, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing fine. I'm going to have to hire you as my PR guy because nobody else talks about me like that. I can tell you that.
I doubt that.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Wonderful. I mean, this is a monthly sit down, and I love talking to you. I love catching up. But I'll tell you what, when you think about what speakers come in, the guy that you had a couple weeks ago, not that great at all. I can tell you that first and foremost. He stunk. Never have him back.
Yoakley? Is that his name?
I think.
Yoakley? Yeah.
The
They said he
silent.
runs some kind of company around here, but I don't know much about him.
No, that's a skin and bones operation. That's no good. I mean, honestly, what an honor it was to speak and to a bunch of guys, living legends in that room, and I mean that with all sincerity. You look around that room and it's a who's who, and I'm trying to tell them about technology, which they're all scratching their heads. But it was an intimidating experience for me. I'm not gonna lie, because there's a lot of guys in that room that have done so much for this area through sports, for the kids, for adults. But I'll tell you what, you guys continue to have these great speakers come in. We're going to talk about more that you're having come in over the next month or so. But for you to sit there, I mean, you got to intro everybody. You talk about intros. I mean, you gave that intro. That was a killer, man. I felt like I was the leader of the free world.
Yeah, and in all honesty, you did very well. You
Thank
did.
you.
Everyone enjoyed having you there. For example, yesterday we had John Mang,
Yep.
the living legend, umpire, a referee, a signer, and all that. And John had the idea of bringing in 4 female athletic directors
Okay.
to give a little talk. And at first I was a little skeptical. I was like, that's 5 people talking. That might be, I got to be home for dinner.
Johnny just didn't want to talk. Is what it boils
Probably.
down to.
But
Who do you have?
he had Andrea Farinack from Howland.
Yep.
Abby Fishtorn from Jackson Milton.
Great.
Nancy Knight from Struthers, who's a bundle of energy.
The best.
And Aaron Heasley from Columbiana. And, it's funny. There's days I can't remember my own name, but I coached softball in Liberty way back in the day, and we played Columbiana, and they had a shortstop named Aaron Heasley, whose nickname was Peanut. So I pulled her aside and I go, "Hey, was your nickname used to be Peanut?" She goes, "Oh my God, I haven't heard that in years." and that I remembered. Like I said, I can't remember my own name half the time, but no, they were all really, really good. They all had really good personalities.
Those are the 4 horsewomen of athletic directing in this area.
Yes.
I mean, you think about it, that is the creme de la creme of who's who when it comes. And you hate to break it down, but when you look at the revolution that has been women in sports, they're leading the way.
They are, and they all pretty much said that they have to have 85 different hats on. They're driving school buses and figuring everything out. That it's tough, and they seem to be doing a really good job. I know John Mang thought very highly of them. That's why he had them come.
They're all incredible.
And it was something a little different for us, but it really, really worked out well. And boy, Mang brought a lot of people to see him. We had probably 20 new faces there. Dave Pavlansky was there. John Butera, who's also getting in the Hall of Fame this year, or in 25. So we had a good crowd. So I said to the people, I said, "Hey, if I bring Mang back, you guys, keep coming back." And they got a chuckle out of that. But no, John talked a little bit too. He was very good. John is, like I said, he's a legend, in the area, and very well thought of.
All right, so let's talk about essentially who's on the forefront, who's coming up. We got some holidays. Obviously, we're cutting between, but who's coming up before the new year?
Well, next Monday, which is the 9th, we have every week, no matter who the speaker is, the subject of NIL comes up. In fact, Steve and I were just talking about it out in the hallway, and we figured we'd get the guy. His name is Ty Petrie or Petrie. I'm not sure how to pronounce the exact last name. But he's in charge of the Penguin Collective NIL.
Okay.
So he's going to come and talk to us about the NIL situation at YSU, which I think should be very, very interesting. On the 16th, we've got Dr. Ray Duffett, former YSU team doctor, surgeon in the area who's going to talk about what goes on in that little blue tent when these guys go off the field in the football games and all that. So he's going to talk to us on the 16th, and we're off on the 23rd and 30th for the holidays.
Sure.
On January 6th, we have our high school champions from the fall, and we were hoping to get some football teams and some other things, and the only one we've got now is Warren JFK Boys Golf.
Yep.
In fact, I just texted while Tom Miller was on, my buddy from JFK, Big Al Gregus, to find out exactly who who's going to be able to come and all that. So that'll be Monday, January 6th. We'll honor Warren JFK Boys Golf State Champions. On Monday, the 13th of January, Jim Rosenhaus, Cleveland Guardians broadcaster, who is on the Mount Rushmore of nice guys that I've ever met in my life. He talks to me like he's known me all his life.
Really?
He's just the greatest guy. So he'll be there on the 13th. On the 20th, we got Brian Campbell, the YSU softball coach. On Monday, January 27th, we'll have the new YSU baseball coach, Trevor Sharpie. And then the DJ Yoakley Memorial Luncheon that we'll have on Monday, February 3rd, will be Greg Brown, the Pittsburgh Pirates broadcaster. So I hope you'll make that one.
I'll be there.
And then I just signed up on Monday, the 17th of January, former YSU women's basketball player and another well-thought-of official in the area, Anne-Marie Martin.
Oh, yeah.
Is going to be coming. And Anne's a really, really nice person, so we're going to have her on the 17th I'm sorry, 17th of February.
Okay.
My bad. So 17th of February.
That's incredible. I mean, that lineup is, murderer's row when it comes to people that you want to see that maybe you don't always have the opportunity to. How do you book these people? Is it just you ask, or is they ask you? How does it work?
My wife will tell you that I'm as big a BSer in the world that there is.
No.
So it's just over the course of the years, I've gotten to know a lot of people, and I've said this before. Ron Strollo has been absolutely fabulous with us. He says, "Hey, I want you to have the new baseball coach." He gives me his contact info. I got a hold of him. You just get to know people over the years, and the Curbstone coach's reputation is very good, and people do want to come and talk to us, and it's just a lot of them are repeat people that come back, But no, we've had a really good lineup up to this point in the 24-25 calendar year.
Tommy Miller just sat in your seat and was telling us about the new recruits, the official, the final 12 that will be inducted in May. From that list, is there anybody that kind of floats your boat that you look at and you go, wow, this is incredibly deserved more than anybody else?
My nephew played football at Canfield about 10 years ago for Pav.
Yeah.
And to this day, my nephew says he's one of the greatest people he's ever come in contact with. So I'm glad that Pav got in. I've known Rob Schmidt for a number of years, and he does a great job broadcasting the YSU basketball games. So he's obviously well-deserving. Your own Steve Leslie here. I've known Steve for a long time. Steve used to work with my brother-in-law at the engineers department, and I've known Steve for a long time, and I'm glad that he was able to get in as well. So those are just a few of the the great names that are getting in. It's
incredible to see some of the media being represented. We see it year after year, but when you think Youngstown, you think that media, you think Vindicator, you think, the CBS affiliate, the ABC affiliate. We have a little bit of it all here.
We do.
But to see them, especially with streaming with Steve and all that he's contributed across the baseball and media, especially lately, do you think you're going to see an uptick in that as we move forward?
I think so, because, not only is media at the forefront, but social media, is obviously a big thing today, and a lot of people getting involved in that, and I would foresee that in the future, definitely.
Bob Camardo, we thank you as always for sitting down. Love talking with you, and naturally can't wait till next month. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody, and we'll be back
2025.
I didn't think I'd live that long, but there we go.
Here he is, Bob Camardo, back after this.